Good morning and welcome to Qigong Live Online today. This is the advanced class. So what we're going to do today is something quite different. We're going to go into the senses. And so when we're doing our practicing our Qigong, we have the physical body movement, we have our breath, we watch our breath, we watch our physical movement. But we're going to open up the doors a little bit more to other parts of our senses while we're practicing. So we become very aware of things that are going on inside our body. Not only inside our body, but outside of our world, with sound, with smells. And we're going to become this, we're going to open up all our senses so that we can do Qigong with more awareness. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to use a couple of exercise examples of that. So the first of all we're going to do is, which is a major one, which is the understanding what you're feeling inside your body. And so I'll do an exercise that brings up that feeling. I'll do a harder exercise so that there is more movement inside it, so you can do that. So we'll do that first, but we'll just bow first into the class. We'll bow and we'll connect with it. So, and I'll talk to you a little bit about how we're going to do this. Roll back on your thumbs. Left hand underneath the right hand on top. Two thumbs together. Gone. Your fist with the left hand covered with your right. Bring it towards your heart and then down to your physical center, down to your lower dantian. Very cool. So we'll do, which one? We'll pick an exercise out of the Taiji Qigong system, and we'll use Windmill Turns in the breeze because it's a big movement. And so what I want you to do is when we're doing this exercise, I'll show you the exercise, we'll do the exercise. And then what we're going to do is observe what's happening inside your body. Observe any stiffness, anything where the body is stiff, any ligament, any joint, any muscle that's a bit tight. Observe the pain, observe the feelings of anything that's going on inside the exercise. Observe that. We'll just do that one first. So this exercise is more to do with the feeling what's going on inside your body. And we'll try this one first. So the hands up, palms face towards the ground. And we're going to go to the right side. You're going to go to the right and we're going to go big circle to the right. I'm going to mirror you, so go to the right. Go over the top, big circle, and then you're going to turn and then you're going to go down. And you're going to bend the knees and go right down to the side, come across the bottom, come up the other side, get to the top, then turn the body all the way around. So you're rotating the body all the way around, and then come down the side. So you're bending your knees and you're coming down on the side of your body. So it's a strain to start off. Go across the front. Bring your hands up to the side, up one side. Turn from that side all the way around to the other side. So you're rotating the whole body around. Then come down. So the knees are facing forward, but you're bending down to the side. It's a strange movement. And then you rotate across with your hips to that, right around to the other side, and then come up the other side. Now we're coming up the exact opposite side. We go down. Now, when you're doing this, I want you to feel any discomfort. It could be in your shoulders, could be in your wrists, could be in your hips when you bend down, could be in one hip and not the other hip. You might feel it when you rotate, you feel it in your knees, you could feel it in your ankles. And when you come up the other side, you could feel it in your spine. Any discomfort. Very good. So we don't want to just focus on the discomfort as well. So bring our attention to where it's nice and smooth. When the body rotates, it goes across the front, there's no friction, there's no tension in the body. Because we don't want to always focus on what's wrong, we want to focus on what's right as well. So we're doing both pieces. So we see what's working, and then we can see where we can do improvements. And the improvements is the flexibility. To the side, across the bottom. Because this is an easy exercise to feel. Now I have a sore hip today from training yesterday. Got overzealous with my training, and I notice when I'm going down the side that I can feel it in the hip joint, and it's a bit stiff. I think stiff's the right word. Good. Now we're going to do the other way because it's going to bring up different things if we go the other way. So go down the bottom first, across the bottom, and then come back up the opposite direction. We're coming up the left side this time. Across the top, turn the whole body. Come down the side, so you bend the knees go straight forward and the body bends to the side. Then rotate your hips around to the side. all the way around, then stand up on the opposite side. So something you normally don't turn, you don't usually bend forward. We are bending these forward, but we're bending to the side of our body. Across the front. Comes up. We're going to add another piece to this, get to the top, and then the whole body rotate around from the hips and then down to the side. Across the bottom. All the way around, then come up from the other side. Good, so we add the breath to this. We're going to breathe out as we go down. Turn right around. Breathe out as you go down. Keep breathing out as you go across. And then breathe in when you stand up. And keep breathing as you turn. And then breathe out on the way down. Very good. 2 long, long breaths. So now watch the breath. And see if you're holding your breath. Whether you run out of breath halfway through the exercise. Or whether you have more breath. And so if you've got more breath, then you need to go slower. So we're coordinating the breath and the movement. Breathing out on the way down. Keep breathing out across the bottom. And then breathe in when you come up the other side. Breathe in right to the top. Keep breathing in as you turn. Breathing out as you go down. Good, so now watch break the breath and watch what's happening inside the body now with the physical part of the body. And now you're watching the breath as well. Notice where the breath is easier and where the breath is not so easy. So we go down, it's easy to breathe in. It's happening down the bottom here. Now I'm constricting my lungs a little bit. I'm also facing down. So the breath is different than it is when it's at the top. When I've got my arms in the air, my lungs are nice and inflated. But when I'm going down, of course, I'm compressing that, squashing down the lungs, goes across, and it's different. Be aware of how that feels in your body, the breathing change in your body, the comfort and the discomfort of the breathing. That's it. Come down to the side. Do the last one. Across the front. Come up the other side. Good. Come right to the front. And then bring your hands down. Perfect. So now we're bringing our attention. So not only are we just doing the physical movement, we're bringing our mindfulness or our attention to the body itself. We're bringing our attention to the pain in the body. The pain, or when they're stretching, the knees are stretching or the hips stretching, and you can feel there's just a little bit of tightness inside the body. So you're bringing your awareness to inside your body. But as I said, also bring your attention to the parts that are really smooth. When you're turning, you feel the body moves really smooth. And you go, oh, look at that, that's nice and clean. And then I bend down and go, oh, okay, there's a bit of stiffness for myself today because of my hip. I can feel it as I go down, I can feel the tightness in that. But this exercise, of course, is going to free up the tightness, so it's a great exercise for it anyway. Then we added the breath to it, and so the breath changed so that it's easy if I just do breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out exercise. It's easy because there's no pressure on the lungs. It's basically just lifting my arms up and bringing my arms down. This is wave hands over the lake, this exercise. And so there's no pressure with this exercise. You breathe in as it comes up, breathe out as it goes down. So there's not a lot of pressure on the lungs, but when you start turning, and we're going down and we're compressing our body, our torso, and we're putting pressure on our lungs, then the breathing becomes a lot more difficult. We don't have that expansion, contraction anymore. We have this compacting of the lungs. And being aware of that happening. This is all going on in the same exercise while you're trying to breathe in and breathe out and monitor the breath with the movement. So the movement and the breath are in coordination with each other. So you're breathing to the extent of the out breath, and the out breath does the rest of the movement. So we're having a coordination with that. And so it's important that we're having all these different aspects going on at the same time. Yep. So that's the body awareness, so the body pain. So we'll move it to a different one. Now, it's easy to do here because I'm in Bali and they're always building here. If anybody's been to Bali, you'll understand what I said when I said, wherever you go, there's people always building something non-stop. Well, I've got 2 buildings. So I've got one this side, which we've asked them to stop while we're shooting, but I've got another one over this side, and they had one over there and one over there the other day. So now we can listen to the sound. And I'll give you an exercise to do, and remember the sound is to do, hearing's to do with the kidneys. The kidney energy one of it administrates the sound. That's why when you get old and your kidney energy gets lower, when your life force gets lower, your hearing goes. And you get loss of hearing because it's a kidney thing. So we'll do a kidney exercise for this particular thing. So you can actually monitor the hearing. You can actually watch your hearing change, by the way, doing kidney exercises. If you are tuned to that, you'll be able to see that it makes a difference here. We'll do an exercise. Which one we're going to do? We'll do a nice easy one. I won't do the 5 element one because that's too tricky. They'll go back into the pain one again. I know what we'll do is Zang Fu. We'll do Zang Fu Qigong for the kidney exercise. Now you bring your hands around the back onto your kidneys. And you're going to do circles. You're going to do circles 12 times inwards and then 12 times outwards with your hands. You're going to rub your kidneys. But that's part of the exercise, and we'll do point respiration, which I'll talk about how to do that. But what I want you to focus is on your sound, what you're hearing outside of your body. Yep, the first one we've done internally, now we're going to do externally. So you count to yourself, and while you're counting, listen. Right on cue, somebody pushes a wheelbarrow, willy bin past the gate. I timed that very well then. That just amuses me how the timing with that was perfect. So 12 times, listen to the sound. I can hear the dove in the tree out there. I can hear the person soaring. I can hear the people talking behind me. Good, I can hear more birds over the other side as well. So all this is going on all the time, but when sometimes you get so caught up in what you're doing, you actually miss this and they go the other way 12 times. So we're strengthening our kidneys. Oh, there's the where you've been again. So all of a sudden there's this huge amount of noise around me, what I didn't see before because I wasn't focused on it, so I couldn't hear it. Now, point respiration is I've got my hands on my kidneys at the back, like that. I'll turn around so you can see that my kidneys are holding my kidneys. And I'm going to push my hands in. I'm going to push them into the kidneys. And as I push them into the kidneys, I'm going to breathe out. And my mind is I'm going to breathe out any perverse chi out of the kidneys. I'm going to breathe it out. Yep. I'm going to breathe it out. And then I'm going to breathe good energy through the oxygen. And then the good energy from the oxygen I'm going to take down into the kidneys themselves. Yeah. They call it point respiration. This is a Dao Yin practice. So push it in and breathe out. And I breathe out through my mouth. Relax, breathe in. Good, push and breathe out again. Relax, breathe in. One more time, push and breathe out. Now, it's funny now, I can hear everything. Good, bring your arms down, just shake your arms out. Now, it's interesting. When I was doing the point respiration, I could still hear everything. It's because I've switched that part of my senses on, but I've switched on my cognitive thinking to be alert to that. Otherwise, you switch it off. If you just walked around listening to everything all day, your mind would be a clutter of noise, especially if you go out in the street. There's so much noise out in the street with people and cars and everything else. So there's that, and what we do is we neutralize ourselves from that sound and we switch it off. But what we're trying to do at the moment is, of course, is to bring more attention to ourselves and their environment while we're practicing. This is our intention today, is to have the sensory experience while we're training. Yep, go back, we'll do the kidneys again. So 12 times inwards, 12 times outwards. Now you can ask which way the circles are, whether it's clockwise and clockwise, don't worry about it. Just in your intention is go inwards, and your intention is to go outwards 12 times. So you're rubbing your kidneys. Perfect. Now, listen, now I just heard the wind in the trees then. Went past and I heard the wind in the... I watched the movie. I watched Fearless, the Jet Li movie Fearless last night. And there's a part of that movie which is extraordinary. And I've quoted it to people a lot. And it was such a beautiful piece of the movie. And if you haven't seen Fearless, it's an amazing movie. But I won't go into the whole detail of the movie, but I'll tell you the one piece I was talking about. And... We'll do the rest of this exercise first, and I'll talk about movies, and then go anti-clockwise or inwards, and then we'll do outwards 12 times. Good. Hear the people knocking, hear the saws, hear the birds. Or I can hear the saw way over there in the distance too. Good. Push your stomach in. Push my stomach in. Push your hands in. Breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Push and breathe out. Relax, breathe in. Push and breathe out. Good. Good. Then bring your hands to the front, shake your arms out. Very cool. So then we brought our attention to the sound. It's what it's just again, so let's just come back, the wind's come back again. And it just reminded me of the movie. So things can trigger thoughts and memories, but it was just last night. I'd seen the movie before, but I just went back because there was a part I wanted to see. So I watched the whole movie. It's a very exceptional movie, a martial art movie. But it has this huge moral story behind it. It's about how wushu, which is like kung fu, how wushu was taken into the world, and there was a person who put that wushu into the world arena. This one person. The story is historically about this guy. And what he did, he accidentally he killed the wrong. He was a martial artist, and he had all ego, and he killed the wrong person for something that they thought they did, but they hadn't. And so he exiled himself into the mountains. And I don't want to destroy the movie story, because in case you want to watch it, it's a great story. And he was up there with the farmers. And when he recovered from from his injuries, he was working with the farmers in the paddy fields, and the farmers were planting the road. He was trying to go faster, and he was trying to compete with them as well, which is fantastic. He was trying to go fast, but he made such a big mess of it. But the wind started blowing through the trees, and all the farmers just stopped there in the fields and just let the wind come through. And part of it was about cooling them down, but part of it was acknowledging that heaven was with them, and heaven was looking after them to keep them cool while they worked. And he just kept planting. He just kept planting. He looked at these people stop like that, and he goes, well, I don't understand. They just kept planting. And he'd been there he stayed there for a few years. And next time you saw him, he was in the field planting. And the wind came through. The wind just went exactly what I just said, that the wind just went. That's right. The wind just went at exactly when I said that. And the wind went through the trees, and he stopped because he got it. And he stood there, because he'd spent all his time with these people that lived off the land, and they lived in nature, and they had this connection to nature and the seasons. And he understood it, he connected to it, and he sat there and let the wind come through, and it was such a beautiful scene. And I do encourage you to watch that movie if you're a martial art person. And that was it. So that was the sound. But what he did, it was the feeling. He was feeling the wind, but he heard the rustle of the wind through the bamboo first, which is interesting. We have bamboo just there. Anyway, moving on. So there's the senses. There's the senses, being aware of your surroundings. Okay, so we've done internal energy. We've done the internal feelings. We've done the breathing. So watching the breathing internally in our body and how it's constricted. Now we just did one where we were using our ears and we were listening while we were doing an exercise for the kidneys. Now we're going to do one for their smell. We're going to do one for the smell, and you're going to smell. And we'll watch. What kind of exercise should we do for the smell? We'll do a lung exercise. We'll do pushing. Oh, what's it called? Pushing clouds. Pushing clouds. It's out of the Long Life Qigong system. And it's quite simple. The hands come up. Now, the hands don't touch with this one. The hands come up. And as you push them forward, you bend your knees. And you come forward and push the knees. You bend your knees. Keep your back straight. Then bring your hands down as you stand up. Then bring the hands back up again. Turn the hands over and push them forward. Bending down. Good. Lower your hands down. Good. Bring your hands up. Push them forward. Bend your knees. Now, this is not to get confused, this exercise. Bring your hands down. This exercise, not to get confused with the metal element exercise, which is for the lungs and large intestine, from the 5 elements, when the fingers touch. And it's similar, the hands go forward, but the fingers are touching. And then it comes to the side and down. Don't get these confused. It's different from the Long Life. The hands don't touch the middle. So the hands come up. The fingers don't touch each other. Turn them over. And you're still pushing forward, but your palms are facing forward. And then you bend your knees as you push forward. Yeah. Good. Then let the hands go to the front, bring the hands down, and then you stand up. So as the hands go down, you stand up. So you have this movement of the hands going down, the body going up. Stay static at the top. Remember, my knees are still slightly bent. It's getting on the kidney points. Breathing out. Breathe in as you bring the hands down. As you stand up, breathing in. And then breathe out. Then breathe in. There's a pause breath. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Breathe in. Good. And then breathe out. Breathe in. Now, I want you to smell what you can smell. Bring your attention to your smelling, to your nose. Breathing out. And what can you smell? Breathing in. As you breathe in, smell. Breathe out. I can smell the frangipani. We have a frangipani around here, which is a very fragrant flower, and I can smell that. I can also, we have a noni tree just here, noni tree, just there, and it has a really strong smell. I can smell both of them. I didn't even notice it before, but now that I brought my attention, now I can feel it, yeah? Breathing in. Breathing out. Bending your knees, breathing out. Breathe in through the nose, smell. Good, and breathe out. Breathe in again. And then smell and breathe out. Now, if you're in your own home, you'll be able to smell what you had for breakfast or lunch, depending on what time of the day it is in your place in the world. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Good. Breathing in as the hands come up. As you breathe in, smell. And then breathe out. Breathing in, smell again. See, I can smell wood chips. I can smell wood. They're making wood next door. I can smell it. Breathing in. Sorry, breathing out. And then breathing in. And then breathing out. Breathing in, smell. Good, and then stop there. Very good, we can do one more yet. So, it's interesting while I'm doing the breathing and the smelling, I'm smelling and I can smell the thing, but I'm still hearing all the sounds as well. They're both clicked in. I hear a fly buzzing around my head. I hear all the saws. Because I've opened the senses to the attention. I brought my attention to the senses, so they're still open. I haven't turned them off. And so now I'm getting all the other things going on. I was noticing the breathing, I was noticing the pain in my body, and I was noticing the smell all at the same time. We're going to add another one to that, so we'll do one more. So we're going to use the visual one. We're going to do the vision this time. So now you're in your room. So in theory, you're just watching the screen or whatever, TV, however you're watching this video at the time, or you could be on your phone. And so you're aware of what that, and you're watching that. But I want you to do is I'll do a nice easy exercise so you can think about it. And your sight's to do with the liver. And the liver controls the sight. So we'll do a liver exercise. I'll make a nice easy. I'll do an easy exercise for the liver, so that we can focus on what you're seeing outside. So as I say, you're looking at the screen. What I want you to do during this exercise is to once I'll show you the exercise, so you know what you're doing, and then you don't have to watch me. And then I want you to look around in the room and bring your attention to what you can see. Now, you've seen all the things in your room, the pictures and the vases and everything, and you've seen it all before. But I just want you to bring your attention to it and start looking at everything. So while you're doing the exercise, in between doing that, you're going to look around, yeah? Which is normally something you don't do, but for the case of this exercise, we do want to. Normally we look without looking, if you understand that term. We look out, but we don't actually focus on anything. We just look out into the world without looking at anything. But we've changed that today. We're going to look at things. So bring our visual piece of senses into being by making this do this. We use the exercise, we'll use the liver exercise from the 5 Element Qigong. We'll use that one. That might be the easiest one to do. So turn your hands over and bring your hands back. So you sit them upside down, 2 fists together on your hips. You're going to use your right hand first. I'll mirror you. The hand comes out, it turns over, and then the fist goes down. So the fist is facing forward. It comes in front of your heart. In front of your heart. Then take a breath in. And then breathe out. And as we breathe out, the hands going to go past each other, and they turn over and they get to the center, and it's like holding the steering wheel at the center. And then it's going to go forward in front of the heart. Yeah? Take a breath in. And you take a breath in, don't move. And only move on the out breath. Breathing out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Take a breath in. Breathe out, the hands go forward, they grab hold of the steering wheel, turn the steering wheel around, and it goes forward. Make sure when you do this exercise, don't turn your body over. So what I'm saying is when you do this, don't turn your body over when you're turning. Don't turn over, just come straight forward and turn the hands, but don't turn your body. And when your fist goes forward, don't turn your fist as it goes forward like that. Don't lean to the side. You go straight, your heads go straight forward. Take a breath in. And then breathe out, the head stays facing towards the front. And so hips that are moving, not your head. Good. Now that we've got that exercise, now I want you to look into the room. See what you see. Good. Just be aware of it. You can look around to the side. Don't look behind you though, because you don't want to lose the exercise. But just from where you are, just move your eyes from side to side. Keep your head in the same place. Just move your eyes. Notice the book that's sitting in the bookshelf, or the book that's sitting on the table. Notice if you've got flowers. Notice if you've got plants. If you've got flowers, you probably will be able to smell them. You'll be able to pick up the sounds, the smells, and now visually. See the colors. See the colors in your painting. See the colors of your vase. See the colors of your mat on your floor. See the colors of your couch. I don't know what's in front of you, so you'll know it. Just see the colors now see the shapes. See the shapes, see the squares. See the rectangles. See the triangles if you can see triangles. See the circles. You might have a circle picture on the wall, or you might have a square circle. See the different shapes, see the geometry. So you're looking at the colors, the shapes, and the objects. And all of a sudden there's all this kaleidoscope of shapes, and I've got tripods standing in front of me, I've got square windows, I've got round vases. All of these things are going on. I've got all the grass sitting up in the air, and it's all spikes sticking up, and all of this is happening. And all my visuals and can see all of that. But the shapes have got a round clock. I have round lenses on the cameras, but the cameras are square. So you're becoming visually aware of all the symbols and all the shapes. Yeah, very good. Take a breath in. Breathe in. Now, see if we can click them all in together. So be aware of all these shapes in your room, all the colors in your room. Be aware of the sounds in your room. Be aware of any smells in your room. And be aware of any feelings you feel in your body, all at the same time. God, right on cue. Everybody was just quiet then. Everything around me went quiet, like really quiet, like just went stopped. I love that. Except for a person coughing. Good. Bring your hand forward. Nice one. And then turn the hand over and bring it back to the hip. So it sits on your hip. Then turn both palms down. Return the chi to the lower dantian. Good. And just put your hands and then shake your legs out. Good. Perfect. There you go. So we just click them all on. So normally when you do Qigong, you shut all that off, by the way. You shut it off and become really present to yourself when you're breathing and the energy inside your body, and feel the energy moving and feel the breath moving, the energy of the breath moving through the body and through the arms, so you can feel the energy moving. But you're still staying present, and you switch off the senses as such, because it's distracting in some way. with it all on, you can see how much activity is going on with the sound, the smell, and the visual look. And if you're doing all of that at once, your mind's busy because you've got all all the parts of your computer in your mind all running. You've got the visual part of your computer program. You've got your Final Cut Pro running, or your Adobe Premiere, whichever one you use. You've got that running in your computer. You have the software that smells everything around you. You have the software that with a touch you can feel everything that's happening inside your body. And all of that's going on at the same time. When you turn that on, it's like, they call it sensory overload. There's a reason for that. Could you imagine if you walked around with it all on the whole time? It'd just be so much information coming into you. Your computer would be processing so much information at the same time with all these programs running at the same time. And what we do is, of course, we switch them off. But what it is to be aware that we can turn them on and off. I can just turn the sound one on and I can hear everything. I can turn the visual on and I can see everything. I see the shapes, see the colors, see all the different coordinations of shapes and how they're connected together and the geometry patterns if I'm looking. Or I can hear if I'm listening. Or I can feel if I'm feeling. But you can switch it on and off. And the key to part of the Qigong, remember, Qigong is the mastery of the Qi, the mastery of energy. And part of our energy is our senses are energy. They're an energetic program. They're energetic fields where we can switch on and switch off. With our mind, the other one, of course, is our mind, which we didn't do today. But you can switch your mind off. We can switch your mind off and start mind on and start thinking of things. You can start thinking what you're going to do after this class. You can think what you're going to do tonight. You can think what you did yesterday. Our mind usually is one of the most overdeveloped one. And part of the Qigong is to switch your mind off to have some peace and quiet. But I didn't want to turn it on because we're trying to do something different today. So the mind is the ability to turn your mind off and on as well. So you can be thinking of all the things, the processes you need to do, and all of a sudden you just switch it off and just be present. Just present to yourself. And in that exact point in time while you're standing here watching this today, present to yourself and not actually needing anything at all. You don't need food, you don't need drink, you don't need warmth, you don't need clothing, you don't need anything right now. Being present and needing nothing at all, just being present. And that's part of the Qigong. So we have this ability to be present to this, and we can be present to that, and we can turn it off and on. And the mastery is knowing where the switch is. So know where you can switch things on and switch things off, so your life can be whatever you want it to be. Yeah. And so hopefully that's useful to you, to understand we have a choice how to switch them on and off. And we have a choice to switch our mind off. We have a choice to switch our emotions off. We have a switch that turns your judgment off, or your self-critic. You get to switch it off. Yeah. And just sit inside the peace and quiet, just being free inside yourself, not needing anything. And so I encourage you to investigate these things and watch your mind navigating through the sounds and the colors and the sight and the smells, and watch your mind doing that, and then learn how to switch it off. Anyway, hopefully that's useful to you today. Anyway, I always like being outside because I get to feel this thing, because we didn't do the feeling. We talked about the feelings internally in your body. I'm sitting outside in the garden. I can feel nature. It's alive. All these trees, you can't see all the trees I've got in front of me as well, besides all the ones behind me. They're all alive. They all have life. They have blood. They have sap flowing through them. They're all alive, and they're all energetically alive. And I'm standing in them. That's why I like being outside, because you can feel the nature. It's alive. It's alive. I'm alive. And we have this connection with the trees and humans, which is just bizarrely beautiful. And so I have that feeling externally as well. Anyway, it's a great day. Now I'm going to go switch it all off. I'll walk inside and switch it off and go back to being quiet again. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Knowing it's all about choice. Roll back on your thumbs. Left hand underneath. Go. Very cool. Step back. Bow to each other and everybody else in the world today. Have a beautiful day wherever you are, or a beautiful night, depending on what time of the day it is, day or night is when you watch this. And if you're watching this in a year's time, I'm glad you come and do the class, and I hope you found that useful.